Alright, I believe I am back. Oh, I didn't change the title. Okay, hold on. Restream. Titles. Streaming episode 52. Update all. Alright. Alright. Episode 52. I just hit one of my goals for the year. That's why that's a big deal. Okay, episode 52. Alright, I see you now. Hit one of my goals for the year. That's why that's a big deal. Okay, episode 52. Alright. Now I go to Telegram. Okay. Now is where I talk about what today is all about. Okay, so for today, I'm going to be talking about my words and the things I'm going to say. Oh yeah, podcasting as a lead magnet. And this is using podcasting as a lead magnet. Wrong thing. Instead of monetizing your podcast. So I'm going to talk about why you should do it, how to use your podcast instead, advantages. I'm still getting organized. Sorry, I've been a little messed up the past couple days. I'm kind of sick. I'm hopped up on pills today. Nothing too serious, but it's just, I don't know. It's whatever. Okay. Yeah. So podcasting as a lead magnet. Actually, I want to make sure my sound is not too, is it too loud? I don't know. Okay. So now just stop it. What if you just put it over here? Okay. Is my sound too much or too little? It's about the same. Okay. Yeah, so just put it back. I'm more comfortable with it right here. Okay. Podcasting as a lead magnet. Okay. Let's do that. I just didn't want to miss an episode. Anyone say anything yet? Oh, 11. Okay. Let's jump into it. Okay. Building an indie business in the center of venture capital. I'm Alex Edmonds, and this is Building an Indie Business podcast. Okay. I love that intro. Today, I'll be discussing using your podcast as a lead magnet. So I'm going to talk about what is a lead magnet, why you should use your podcast as a lead magnet, how to use your podcast as a lead magnet, the advantages, the disadvantages, and who this doesn't apply to. Okay, so let's get started. Actually, before we get started, I want to just bring up the survey, which will be in the show notes. This is just questions I have for listeners of the podcast to answer. I think it's 10 just multiple choice questions and then 2 short answer questions. You can finish it real quick. Okay, so let's get into it. What is a lead magnet? The definition of a lead magnet from my Google search is a lead magnet is an incentive that marketers offer to potential buyers in exchange for their email. So a lead magnet would be an alternative to advertising on the podcast. Okay, so why do you want to use your podcast as a lead magnet? Because ads take away from the focus of your content. When you have an ad on your podcast, you have to stop what you're saying and talk about another brand on your podcast. So someone might get distracted or turn off your podcast as soon as they hear an ad from another company. Another reason why is because when you don't have ads on your podcast, this provides more value to your listeners. So if you have an hour-long podcast and you have 10 minutes of ads, you're only providing 50 minutes of value for your listeners. So by not having ads, you can provide more value to them. Okay. How to use your podcast as a lead magnet. Well, the first thing you can do is to build your personal brand. So if you're trying to establish yourself in an industry, you can start podcasting and let people know your thoughts on the industry, and people will see or hear your thoughts and listen for your thoughts if they like what you have to say. Another way you can use your podcast is as an extension of your product. So let's say you are trying to break into the podcast industry and you want to sell a podcast product. You can talk about podcasting, and people will see that you have knowledge about it and maybe want to use your product because of your influence in the podcast industry. Okay. Another way you can use your podcast is to give information about your industry. So you can give information about your industry, and then people will think about your product when people they need your product. So you can talk about the science of something, like, okay, you could talk about cars and using cars in movies if you're in the movie industry, and then you can sell prop cars for movies. And so when people think cars and movies, people then think of your product. Okay. So the advantages of using your podcast as a lead magnet. The first advantage that you will have is that you would have less to manage with the podcast, and you can focus more on your content. So when you have advertisers, you have to deal with advertisers, and that takes away focus from your content because you have to focus on their content and making sure they're happy. Another thing that gives you the advantage is when you're not focused on advertisers, your subscriber count or your download count doesn't matter, because you have no one to please with your podcast. When you have an advertiser, they want to know how many subscribers you have and how many downloads you have. With a lead magnet for a podcast, you can just focus on content and don't have to pay attention to those numbers. Another advantage is you don't have to worry about saying something a sponsor doesn't like. You're censorship resistant, as I would say. So if you can say whatever you want. So on my podcast, I don't like to cuss, specifically because there's little kids listening to my podcast. I know that for a fact. My younger family members, and I don't want to hear it from their parents if they hear me swear. And another reason is because when you swear on your podcast, it doesn't show up in other countries like India. So I just avoid all that with not swearing. But if you, like, okay, I have a perfect example. Bill Burr, he has advertisers, and there was one incident where he's selling berries and he made fun of their product, and they didn't like that, so he had to they cut the relationship with them. And so they later re-engaged him or started advertising on his podcast, and he was very careful with the next ad that he did. So if he didn't have advertisers, he wouldn't have to worry about that. Okay. The next advantage that I think you will have is it'll give you an edge against other podcasts. So a lot of people are tired of being sold something. And by not selling ads, you're giving people something that they can consume without being sold something. The next thing, so because you're not selling them something, I think that this will create more loyal listeners because some people don't want to be sold ads, and they'll look forward to hearing your podcast. Okay, so another advantage is that people probably don't want to hear so many advertisements for a subscription for underwear, and so you'll be that podcast without the underwear ad, and that could give you an advantage. Okay, the disadvantages. You lose a source of income, a potential source of income, because you won't be monetizing your podcast directly. And so you'll be losing potential money, because if your podcast grows and companies want to advertise, you have to say no to them. Okay. The next thing another disadvantage is that it may be difficult to track your listener conversions. So it'll be hard to track whether your listeners are converting to using your product. And this is because this goes back to how to use your podcast. People will think of your product when people need it. So if you're targeting producers of movies for your car company, those people will think about your product when they need it. So they might not need your product right away. So it'd be kind of hard to track when a listener converts to using your product. So this makes your product difficult, or it makes it kind of difficult to track the impact of your podcast. Okay, so finally, this doesn't apply to full-time podcasters. If you have a full-time podcast, or if your podcast is your product, then you have to sell ads to make money on the podcast. So this doesn't apply to full-time podcasters. Okay, that's all I have for this episode. Thank you for listening. If you want to host a podcast and you don't want the hassle of setting it up and everything, join the Telegram chat for Open Podcast, and we talk to me, and we will set something up where you host an episode of the Open Podcast community podcast. Okay. Thanks for listening. Have a nice day. Bye. Okay. That wasn't that bad. I kind of struggled to I don't know. To come up with content. If you haven't realized, the podcast is kind of a rough draft of what I'm thinking. Hey, Kyle, what's up, dude? He left. Okay. Yeah. So the podcast is a rough draft of what I'm thinking for like my thoughts on podcasting, and then this is my process for the podcast. The first thing I do is I outline what I'm going to say. And if you're looking at my screen right now, this is what you're seeing. And then I take the outline and I listen to the podcast again. No, that's not what I do. I outline the podcast. I then record the podcast. Then I listen to it again. And then I take the main points. So I'll take this stuff right here. And then I tweet it. I tweet it out. Then I transcribe the podcast for an article. And then for each step, I'll create more content and my ideas will be more polished. And this is kind of how I see comedians use podcasting. So, of course, I'm going to use Bill Burr as an example because he is my podcasting inspiration, kind of. You can hear, or people say that if you listen to his podcast, you'll hear his jokes because you'll hear his jokes when he's on, like, doing a special or you see him live. Because the podcast is him, like, having an idea first, and then he takes it on stage. And this is basically my version of that. So that's why you'll see in the future that I have articles about the same exact topic, but they're a little more shaped. Okay. Yeah. So, oh, dude, where is everything? I just had it. Okay. Oh no. Okay, that's so. What do I have to do? Something. Okay. Yeah. Let me show you my stuff. So I've been writing a lot. So I have. Okay, yeah. I have podcast metrics, and this is based on the episode about time spent listening, which was last week's episode. I started this episode that I just recorded. I think this might just be the file for it. Podcast workflow, podcast history lesson, which is an episode I did on a live stream, but I scraped it for the actual podcast. Building a community around a podcast. This is my episode about growing a community. That's the episode. I have a podcast about benefits of podcasting, monetization. Streaming's probably going to be next week's episode. Comparing creating YouTube. Solo podcasting, I did that as a live stream. Yeah, this is what I do in my free time. I have to... I'm doing something right now. Okay. So yeah, it's just... talking about something helps me get my ideas out. And so I take those ideas and I make them nicer in written form. Yeah, so the podcast is a form of content creation, and it helps me to create even more content. So, yeah, if you are a fan of this podcast, you'll notice that, I don't know. Oh, let me just say it like a normal person. So, I used to do it. I started doing it the other way around. So I would write something, and then I would do the episode. I found that a little more difficult. It's a lot easier for me to transcribe my words and then write it down, because through like transcribing it, it helps my brain flow and I get more ideas for the podcast. Yeah, so that's what I'm doing. I haven't I haven't been writing a lot because I am waiting to fix up the forum, and then I'm going to use my articles to bring people to the website instead of the Telegram chat. Alex, why do you not want to bring people to the Telegram chat? Well, that is because I want to put ads on there, and I want to be able to make money and have all the control that I possibly can have. So I can't do that on Telegram. Like, I can't put ads on Telegram. And let me see, can you see anything right now? Let me just bypass all this. Yeah. So this is what I have right now. I'm going to use Discord for this. And then I'm going to put like a job board. Actually, let me see if I... alerts for BTC / podcast directory .html. Oh, this might not be BTC. Okay. Alright. So see, this is what I started with. And let me see. What's a band? Not the Grateful Dead. Okay. Let's just do, I don't know. Open podcast. Community podcast. And see, this is gonna get added to the table. Where is it? Okay. So see, I'm just gonna do this, make it look nicer, and then I'm going to add Stripe so that when someone clicks on it, a Stripe thing will pop up. And that is how I plan to monetize Open Podcasts. So the first thing I'm going to do is look for, I'm going to have like ads for I forgot what I was going to say. Oh, ads for people looking to be a guest on podcasts and people looking for co-hosts. And that's just to practice with just doing this. And then I'm going to do a job board and try to track or whatever. Try to get people that, like, companies. Yeah, companies are people that using podcasting as a lead magnet. Okay. Yeah, so I'm going to use companies that want to hire podcasters for the company, or people looking for producers for a podcast. And the reason why I want to do this is because just in the Open Podcast community alone, there are 3 or 4 people, freelancers, looking for that are podcast producers. So I could just point the podcast producers in the direction of the company that wants a podcast producer. And so, yeah, that's what's on my mind. Okay. Alright, so we are time spent listening, switching it up. Episode 52. What's up? Been doing this for a year. Yeah, so even though I'm bad at it, next week I'm gonna do an episode on streaming. So yeah, that's my life. No. 52. 7 days. 24th. March 2nd. March 2nd. March 2nd. I don't know. Honestly, for the podcast, I really just wish it was funnier. I don't know how to make this funny. I discuss using podcasting as a lead magnet. Okay. During the what time is it? Alright. These people are gonna call me, and I'll take the call during the podcast, but just be prepared. Why to use the podcast? Use a podcast as a lead magnet. How to use the podcast as a lead magnet. The advantages and disadvantages, and who shouldn't use podcasting as a lead magnet. Okay. Is this it? Yeah, this is it. Alright. Episode 52. Very rough, but I don't know, just I like to get my thoughts out there, see what people think. Happens. Okay, what am I doing next? Ooh, day bow bow. The newsletter. Okay. So, MailChimp has a podcast. Okay. Do you guys? So, every time I post the newsletter on Reddit, and I specifically post it on the subreddit, podcasting, I get one follower or one subscriber to the newsletter. So it's not bad. I've never had a podcast with, I've never had a newsletter with like 10 different subscribers. 9. Yeah. And plus, the newsletter is to get people from Reddit or Twitter, just to get people from social media to join Open Podcast. So that's a good way to do that. Know what I mean? Sometimes I don't know what I'm saying. It works though, so whatever. I don't care. I don't care what you say. Ooh. Did I? Is this? That's what I put for the subject? 8. Is this 8? Ooh, okay. So for those of you that don't know why I'm weirded out by this, 3. Oh. Okay. Is because I just copy the newsletter. And so I think I've been putting, yeah, so this is for, I haven't been changing the subject. So for the past 3, maybe 4 weeks, the subject has been newsletter number 4. It's because I change it here and I think it's changed, but it's not. Okay. Okay, let me see. Links. Oh, okay. View email. Okay, plain text details. Yeah, see, it's been number 4 for a while. Since number 5, and I think I'm on number, I don't know, I'm on number 8. Yeah, so for 4 emails, it said email number 4. I struggle with that. Okay. Details. Wait a second. Let me see this. Please tell me I didn't just delete it. Yeah. I didn't even notice that on my email that I get sent. Oh my god, okay. Yeah, so finally it's number 8. And even then, like, on Reddit, I think I put the number. Let's see. Number 7. Yeah, so I have to watch out for that more. Okay. What was I doing? Is there anything else I need to change? Just this? Okay. Yeah, this is done for. This is done for. Okay. Actually, long time ago. Yeah. So, oh, okay. I have all the links. All of the links. That was a reference to an old Kanye West song. If you didn't know. Okay. I don't want this one. Ah. Okay, you're done. You get the same article. Oh. What's this one again? 'Cause I don't know. I don't know what I'm singing. Oh, this is a good one right here. Actually, hold on. We're gonna check something. Has anyone filled out the survey? Stop doing that. All the links. Survey results number 1. Okay, 2 people. Alright. That's cool. It's not... Okay. Let's see. Some staples. Just in Boston. That's weird. In Boston. Highway to the danger zone. Okay. So let me just do this. Some staples is investing in the podcast industry by allowing customers to do what, Alex? Come on, you got this. To record a podcast in their stores in Boston. Period. Wicked. Smart. Okay, wait. Wicked. Smart. Oh, yeah. Wait. Shit. Highway to the danger zone. Wait, what is this article again? Wicked smart. Okay. Oh! I don't have a podcast to, I have one actually. I have to find it though. Wait, what link is this? Cancel. Wicked smart. Okay. The next article is on my phone because I don't know. Wicked smart. The art and science. Okay, yeah, this is the article. Wicked smart. Okay, I'm gonna stop saying that. Even though, if you know me, you know I love the Boston accent. Because I listen to Bill Burr, and he is from Boston, and so he has that accent. So every time I talk in a Boston accent, it's really a Bill Burr accent. Ooh, that was quick. Okay, sweet. Wicked smart. Um, 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 um. Okay. Sports. Okay, let me check my phone. How do you search? Okay. Links. Let me search through links and I will see it. And then I'll be like, hey, what's the big deal? Nope. Okay. More. Search. Sports. Okay, found it. And here's what I'm gonna do with it. Oh, I can't. Oh, it's the one right here. Whoopsie. Whoopsie. I... This is the first time that I am not using a link from Overcast. Please don't tell Marco. Alright. Is this it? Yep. This is it. Okay. I technically don't know what this podcast is about. But we're learning as we go. Actually, let me just click the link over here. And let's see. Okay. That's done. Yeah. What are you gonna do? Okay. Yep. I'm gonna put this somewhere. Oh no, we gotta schedule it first. Nobody 26 a.m. 3 schedule. Copy link. Put this in the symbol notes. In the symbol notes over here. Da, 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 da. Okay. Nobody has said anything. Okay. Alright, I'm feeling good. Thanks for asking. Yeah, so I'm on... I forget what I'm on right now. It's nothing too bad. Actually, I wanted to check something before I ended this. Let's see the campaigns. I want to see the last campaign specifically. Just the last one. Just the last one. View report. I'm viewing over here. I don't know. Whatever. No, so from 21:10. Oh, yeah, I just opened this. Okay. 3 a.m. I have 2 opens at 11 a.m. I think I opened it at 11 a.m. Sometimes on my content, I'm like, even my content. Like when I did that interview, I didn't listen to it till like Thursday. Sent to links. Oh wait, is there a click map? Click map. I wanted to... Good. You're supposed to highlight. Okay. Is there anything else? I don't have geographic. 2019. Ooh. Refers. I don't know what that means. Like, what is this? I know what this is. What is this right here? Go to... Okay. Nobody wants to join the open podcast community. Community. Nobody knows. And it's kind of ironic that next week is going to be an episode on streaming. Alright, what else is there? Existing. What is this? I'm walking over here. Okay. Gotta check the email. The old email over here. See. Okay. I'm emailing over here. Day bow bow. Chicka chicka. Ooh, check out my new Chrome extension. What is it called? Remove in. Okay. I don't know what it's called, but it removes everything that makes YouTube addictive. So the only way to watch a YouTube video is to search for it. There's no feed or anything, or when you click on a video.
One of the most famous
There's no like autoplay or anything. It really helps me be more productive. So that's cool. I'm cooling over here. Alright. Sounds good. I don't know what you want from me, but I'm cooling over here. Podcasting as a lead magnet. Dude, I don't know how to make these streams more interesting for people. But I will figure it out. One day. Videos. Okay. Okay. Alright. This stream's done as soon as this thing is... as soon as this stream is, as soon as this video is uploaded. Unless someone has any questions. No? We're good? Okay. Somewhere over the rainbow. I don't know what I'm singing now. Okay. I'm walking over here. I'm walking over here. I don't know what else to say. Oh, Jesus. Yeah, I don't have anything to make fun of right now. So, what do you want from me? Oh, Jesus. Alright. No, it's not made for kids. I don't make content for kids. Who do you think I am? Alrighty. That's basically my day. I'm gonna do more, but you don't have to watch it. Yeah, 'cause whatever. Have a nice day. If you're in the future watching this, thank you for watching the replay. How do I turn this off now? Alright.